I bought this little piece of 3mm plate off of eBay. There's loads and loads of offcuts for sale. This one's 10cm by 150. I've just drilled in, so like 12mm in from the sides, some 6.5mm holes, so that will take some countersunk M6 bolts that I bought. Okay, like so. This one is a 12mm hole that I've just drilled through. I've just deburred them on the back side, like so. Next stage, I want a bit of tube for the back. Okay, so now I've cut a piece of tube. This bit of tube is only, I'll just chose it, it's 180mm long. The chalk sticks that I've got are 12mm, and this is just fractionally over 12mm internal diameter. Now the chalk sticks, they're fatter at one end than they are at the other, so as long as the chalk sticks actually fit down there, that's fine. One of the bits of tube that I chopped off the end I'm going to flatten, bend into an L shape and weld on there as well. So I'm going to have just a couple of little spots of weld and a little spot of weld there just to form a plate for the chalk to drop down onto. Simple as that. I'm not going to go mad with the welding because if this gets deformed or whatever, I want to grind it off and be able to replace it. So nice and quick and easy and simple stuff. I'll just go and put a couple of spot welds on that. Okay, as you can see, I've welded a little plate at the bottom there, stop the chalk from falling all the way through, and just spot welded the tube in place. So that should hold it. Now I need to fix the side parts on. Progress report. I've got two bits of angle iron. That is 30mm sides. I've cut out a 90° V so I can bend that up and then they can stand up. I've cut a hole in the top here because I've also got a couple of these excellent hairy arm spinners that I can fit on there. I'll need a slightly longer bolt than that though, otherwise that one's going to hit onto it. I've put two holes there. When that's bent up, if I want to stake it into the ground I can bolt a stake in. These holes here, when that's bent up, I can fix it onto my board that's got me reflex targets on. So, you know, it forms a nice bunch of targets. This is it so far with the other side. It's bolted on there. I've got one of Airy Arms stainless spinners on there. I've just got to bend this up and we're ready to go. So I've just got to drill this side, set it all up, and it's ready for paint. Okay, progress report. Plates all attached with a countersunk M6 bolt, sorry. One of the hairy arm spinners attached, again using the countersunk M6 bolts. Pipe well and truly welded in place. 12mm hole with, again, that's just a bit of flattened pipe bent over, a couple of spot welds to keep it in place. I bent these parts up and I've drilled holes through so that I can screw it down onto the base that I use, and I've also put some holes through here so that if I want to make a couple of stakes I can just bolt them through there and sink the stakes into the ground. The bolts that I bought for doing this are only 30mm, and I need something a little bit longer for this big boy here because I think if I use a 30mm one it's just going to catch. So I'll probably need a 40 or 50mm bolt to go out there. I've already drilled it and countersunk it to take an M6 size bolt. So a lick of paint, and then tomorrow with a bit of luck we can give it a test. Progress. I found some blue paint in the garage, so I've sprayed it. Area arm spinner attached to one side, 12mm hole. We're good to go. I'll obviously need another bolt for the other side so I can put the bigger spinner on, and then this will be screwed down onto the base with me other targets. Looking forward to having a play. Okay, I've set the target up at 15 yards, so we can have a nice little play. I've put the blanket on the grass behind it just to catch any, hopefully, any chalk. We'll just mess about and make sure we're zeroed to start with. So right on spinner. Left hand spinner. I love the way them hairy arm spinners are balanced. They spin for ages when you hit them. Excellent. So you got a rather splendid and fantastic cloud of chalk dust. When you nail that hole. Outstanding. So there you are, there's your homemade chalk stick target. A box of chalks, I don't know, 50p from a toy shop, quid at most I'd have thought. I found them in a drawer, got 29p written on them. I suspect it's an old box. I've shot God knows how many pellets. I've used 2.5 sticks of chalk, and there's still some left, as you can see. It just keeps dropping down. It's nice how it just keeps basically loading itself until the tube's empty. Obviously the spinners, if you want spinners you'd have to get them to fix them on sides, but price wise, bit of tube I found at garage, 3mm plate I bought off eBay, less than £2. Angle iron, I went to a local industrial estate and I picked that up out of the scrap bin because it was shorter than what they needed. So far costs for the metal itself less than £2. I spent about £3 on bolts, nuts and bolts and what have you. So that's it. basically. I've got a welding plant to spot weld, I've got a drill, all that kind of stuff. So a nice, cheap, pretty easy to make target. And I personally, I love to see that puff of smoke when you puff of chalk dust, should I say, when you hit that nice and square on. I had that out to 15 yards. That were challenging enough for me. I'm sure at some stage I'll have it at 25 and pepper the paintwork a lot more, but it's a cracking fun target, and the spinners on the side just makes it that bit more because you've got more to shoot at and more variety. So there you go, that's your chalk stick target. Quite a good fun thing, I think.